I just wanted to share this experience with you guys because I know that there are other people out there that have had the same experience. So let me start my story. Okay, so it all started when I got my first, I guess, real job or career type job. I have a degree in sociology, so I was getting to the social work field. So I was so happy when I got this job. I was working for a child welfare agency. Like I said, I was so happy because for about 8 months after I graduated college, I was still working a minimum wage job. Finding a job in itself is a job. So when I first got the job, I thought there was going to be some type of training, but I received absolutely no training for the job. So I just went in blindly. They just gave me my caseload and was just like, okay, do casework, you know. So I'm just like, okay. Absolutely no training, no guidance, nothing. I had a supervisor who, she didn't even last long because she didn't even like the agency. Like, so many people have came and went from that agency. So that supervisor that I had, she actually was trying to help me as much as she could, but the thing is that as we know with pretty much every job, like everything just comes down. It's like a, you know, like a tier. Like you have the higher ups, like the CEOs or presidents or what have you, and then, you know, it trickles down like to the director, assistant director, and the supervisors, and then us poor bottom low class workers. So yeah, so she was getting a lot of pressure from like the higher ups, and of course, you know, she has to give me pressure because she's getting pressured, you know. So I would try to ask a lot of questions to the workers and just try to get more information. Like I was basically training my damn self, you know. So it was just crazy. So about this incident happened about 2 months into working there. I remember it was in the summertime. I remember like it was yesterday, even though this was a few years ago. So yeah, I remember it was summertime, probably like June. I think it was like June or so. And I just remember I was getting all the work kept piling up on me. I wasn't getting any support, any help with this work. It was just like, no, Chanel, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, do this, do that. Like it was like I had to do so many fieldwork visits because in social work, depending on the job, you do have a lot of field work, especially if you're working in child welfare. You always have to do home visits to the different homes where the children are at. So yeah, I was told, this was like the day before, I was told, oh, you must get in all of this paperwork, and it was a freaking lot. It was impossible for me to get all that paperwork in one day. And on top of that, you wanted me to do home visits. I remember I didn't get home until 11 p.m. that night from trying to do all the paperwork and doing home visits. So I did not get my work done on time, and I was also scared too because I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't get it done by this like 1 day deadline, so what's gonna happen to me the next day? I was freaking out. I'm like, am I gonna lose my job? Am I gonna get written up? Like, what's going to happen? So come the next day, I went to work. I was feeling stressed out, very overwhelmed, and then I just needed to vent. Like whenever I'm feeling stressed out or anxiety or something, like I have to speak to somebody immediately to feel better. So I was just feeling so stressed. So I went to my supervisor's office, and as soon as I went in, I closed the door, I just started bawling. I was crying my eyes out. I wasn't expecting it. I don't know, something just triggered as soon as I got in the office because I just couldn't take it anymore, you know, like the crazy visits and all of this paperwork and not getting any support. And she's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, you know, I can't take anymore. I'm stressed out. This is too much work. And I just kept crying. And next thing you know, I started like hyperventilating. I'm like, and then it started to intensify. And it was just so uncontrollable. Like I I don't know what the hell came over me. I just could not control it. I'm just hyperventilating. I'm like, it's just getting faster and louder and faster and louder. I don't know what the hell was going on, and I'm kind of like freaking out because I can't stop myself. She's like, you gotta calm down, Chanel, you gotta calm down. And then she ran out the office, tried to get other people, and I remember, like, it was like all a blur. Even though I can't remember, but it was just still blurry. I just remember just hyperventilating, and I remember I was starting to get like low, and I just remember hearing voices that like, you gotta calm down, Chanel, you gotta calm down, you gotta calm down. But it's like I just couldn't. I just kept breathing hard, and just the tears, and I'm getting low because I was sitting in a chair. But thank God though I didn't like faint or anything. I didn't fall to the floor, but I felt like it. And they all just like, Chanel, calm down, please calm down, calm down. But it just went on for like minutes on end, and people were saying, oh, they're gonna have to call like the ambulance for me, or EMS or whatever. But I'm like, but I really did not want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to go to the ER. So I did try to calm myself down as much as I could, and I just stayed in the office for a little bit until I calmed down. I calmed myself down, but I was still like crying and crying. And then one of my coworkers, she drove me home. I was crying on the way home, and then when I got home, I basically just like cried myself to sleep. And at the time, I was still living at my parents' house, so they were like worried about me. And I remember the next day, because I remember the panic attack that happened on a Friday. So I remember that Saturday, I think I was up like doing my hair or something, and my father, he came in my room, and he's dressed in like a t-shirt and sweatpants and his sneakers, and he's like, come on, Chanel, we're gonna go out, we're gonna go for a run, let's go jogging, And I just refused. I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to go running, because I really didn't, and I just wanted to be alone. Like sometimes when well, not a lot of the times, like if I say I just want to be alone, I just want to be alone, like just give me some space. But he was like forcing me. He was like, no, put on, like he was getting upset. He's like, put on some shorts, put on t-shirt or something, let's go jogging. He's like, exercise is good for you, the stress reliever, come on, like what are you doing? But I just refused. I was like, no, I don't want to go. And then eventually he left me alone. But so that day, I remember I had gotten dressed up, and I just spent the day to myself in the city. Like I took myself out to eat, went shopping, just walked around. I just did that as like a stress reliever, and I just spent the day there just alone to myself. And that was the first and last time that I actually had a panic attack. It was crazy because I don't have a history of panic attacks, anxiety attacks, what have you, nor do I have a family history of that. So it was just crazy that I experienced that. I definitely learned from this. I learned that I'm never, ever, ever gonna let a job put me in that position ever again. When I was working a minimum wage job, I used to work with this African guy, and whenever we couldn't get something done, he would always say, tomorrow is another day. So I live by that. So whenever I can't get something done, or I'm under stress or anxiety from a job, like too much going on, I say, you know what, I do my best, tomorrow is another day. What doesn't get done today can get done tomorrow. And I also tell myself that this isn't going to be my job forever. There's bigger and better things that are going to happen for me. And this is the same thing for you guys. You might be in a dead-end job right now, or a job that you hate. This is not the end. And I keep reminding myself that too. This is not the end. You're going to do bigger and better things. But of course, you gotta make moves. You gotta apply yourself. But yeah, so I've never had a panic attack ever again. But another thing I like to live by, it is what it is. Hey, it didn't get done, it is what it is. I'm only one person. I'm not gonna kill myself over some job, especially a job that I can't stand. I'm not killing myself over that, please. If you don't like something, change your situation. I've been unhappy in this social work career, so I have been transitioning to a different career, and I've just been doing other things that I like to do, like such as YouTube. Like I love doing YouTube, so this is like a hobby slash passion for me, just doing YouTube, and it is a stress reliever. Panic attacks, they're real. Anxiety is real. Some people are diagnosed with panic attack disorders, anxiety disorders, and they're taking medication for it. It's real. And also too, mental health period is real. Mental health illnesses or issues, it's very real. And I know in the Black community it's seen as taboo, but it runs in the Black community as well. But another thing I want to say too is your mental health is everything. You hear me? Your mental health is everything. If you don't take care of your mental health, you can't really do anything else, because your mental health can affect your physical health, it can affect your social well-being, your mental health can affect everything, you know. So definitely take care of your mental health. Or if you're in a situation that you don't like, whether it's a dead-end job or a job that you can't stand, or even a career that right now you can't stand, or if you're in school, you're doing a major and you're realizing that this is not what you want to do, make moves. Move on, do what you want to do, follow your heart, follow your passion, move on to what you want to do. Don't be stagnant. Do not be stagnant in your life. Especially time comes and goes. Like, we're already in 2016. Time comes and goes, and you cannot get that back. It's important to put yourself first sometimes. Like, you can't be overwhelmed or stressed out. Like, stress can kill you. Or just overall, find some stress relievers, whether it's listening to music, or you like to drink tea, or you can take yourself out, like treat yourself to something nice, or even treat yourself to a nice dinner or lunch or something. Just little things just to make yourself feel better, make your day better. Talk to somebody, because a lot of people sometimes they don't like to talk things out, they just like to hold things in. Like, talk it out, like whether it's like a family member, a friend, or even a therapist, you know. Like, go to therapy, get some help, you know. Don't look down on it, especially like I said in the Black community. Like, mental health is seen like as taboo, or, you know, a bad thing. But no, please get the help. Like, seek a professional if you have to. If you have any hobbies, like partake in those hobbies. Or if you like to exercise, or even if you don't exercise, you know, like go out and exercise, go for a run. Oh, sometimes I like to go for a walk. Like, that definitely helps to clear my mind. Like, sometimes I'll be at work and I'm under a lot of anxiety, so I'll go out and I'll go for a walk, you know, and I do feel better. I also want to point out too that if you are trying to find stress relievers, make sure that they are positive stress relievers, not negative stress relievers, because you know, you have people that are, when they're stressed out, that leads to alcoholism, that leads to drug abuse, or what have you. Like, put your energy into positive things. But I hope this video like helps somebody out there. Like I said, I just wanted to share my story with you guys. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my firefighter brother for this sweatshirt. Loving it, loving it. You know what, shout out FDNY, shout out all the firefighters of the world, okay?